Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7th game of the MavWar Hype Tournament Unity 2018. We have a game between teams Royal Flush and Natus Vincere right here on the Maverick Warriors Twitch channel. I am Rails Barlow, one of your two casters for this evening's match. Joining me once again is the one and only Mr. Hollywood. Hollywood, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Rails.
I do believe these teams are chomping at the bit, actually, to get this started. So how about we allow them to send it live right here? We should be good to go. Starting off with Team Royal Flush on the Survivor side and Team Navi, as we'll call them, on the Special Infected side. We are going to have for Team Royal Flush their Captain Haxer Mode, aka Hib, Holo, aka Pose, Kodiak, and Tamales. And who are we going to have for Team Navi here, Hollywood?
On Team Navi, we've got Team Captain Disco, Nevermore, 2Bar, and Putty. And we are live.
Indeed we are. The game is on hard rain, as we actually should probably mention as well as we get started. It actually was supposed to go live about 30 minutes ago, so not as bad as the one last night, but this first hit is indeed coming in. Smoker Pole goes out, Charger's going to land as well. On to Nick in the corner over there. The spit is short, but the Charger does get a single pound. I'm sorry I cut you off there, Hollywood. What did you see from that?
Oh, it's no problem at all, and so far we've got a pretty... we've got a minor bit of amount of damage onto Tamales, but overall, Royal Flush took that hit fairly well. They're going to push out onto this this broken down barrier thing. I think they're not going to get over this white RV before Navi gets the next hit up. They do have a boomer and a jockey ready, and the other specials are spawning in. But this should be a pretty good match. I do know that Hib is a very good player, Nevermore is a very good player, and I have commented with Disco on a different tournament match just a few weeks ago.
Indeed. Now we do have this hit set up with the Charger, Boomer, Jockey, and the Smoker. As the tank is about to spawn, the tank is up now. Hib gets that Boomer pop, tanks up in the hands of Putty, and we have a Jockey forward right onto the car, and this is going to be a, depending on how the car hit goes, probably a wipe. Hib has been charged forward, has been hit with a car. MavWar Hype Tournament 2018 right here, playing some classic themes already, as Hib has died on the first tank of the game. Tank's gonna go in there trying to punch Nick as well. We have a Smoker and two other spawns coming up in a second, and we actually have a smiley face going out in chat. Putty able to get that car kill onto Hib right there off that first attack right as that tank was spawning, not even really needing to send it for the tank to get in position. They hit the intercepts. Now these survivors are rushing forward, as a matter of fact. We're going to keep it right here. I'm not sure exactly where they're going to fight this, but they pop this Boomer, and this is dangerous now because the tank is broken flow. Those three survivors actually do have a pretty solid amount of HP, and they're getting a pretty good amount of distance through the map. Jockey getting M2'd, oh my god. Smoker gets a pull to the back. Alarm car does go out as well. Tank trying to intercept right here. Still about 4k HP. Car is going to go in and ricochet out of bounds as the survivors keep pushing forward. And at this stage, there are still hittables in the street. I don't think they can really choose to run right past them. They'd have to go to the roofs indeed. That's what they're going to do. Smoker Pole goes out. Car does land onto Nick in the back right there as the tank rotates over to the alarm car. This is absolute insanity so far. Coach is going to dodge that hittable. Kodiak juking the tank out a little bit, then does get pounced, and this has been a chaotic start for Team Royal Flush right here, as this wipe is actually going to go out. It was looking real bad for that tank until we saw that alarm car get hit high. That was outrageous.
My goodness, there's just no time to even think. Talk about starting this game with a bang. That was
extremely unfortunate there, because the Hib got the initial Boomer pop, and then he got hit by that Charger, and that took him right into the path of where that tank spawned. And that's a huge problem sometimes with Survivor teams when those hits are up during a transition back and forth from one area to the other.
Absolutely. An early tank on the first map of a campaign, that is not the way you want to start off a game. Regardless, Royal Flush does have an opportunity to sort of make the same kind of disaster befall their opponents, of course. The other team, I should say, Navi, does have, they have a little bit of foresight now. They know when that tank is going to spawn. They know they can be a little bit more careful around this RV area, because that is a dangerous hit, unlike this very first hit that we're about to see. Speedo, Jockey, Charger, Smoker, identical to the last round, of course. We're going to see Navi taking this in more or less the same route. They keep staying on the rooftop. We do have a Charger up. The Smoker goes for a pull, doesn't land. We do have a Jockey landing onto Ellis. He's going under the building. That's a lot of damage onto him. He does get clear, however.
And that's a very similar start right there for both teams on the Special Infected side. The key now, though, is, with the knowledge of how that tank is spawning, as you mentioned, you know, there's a point where as a team you hate to see that kind of stuff where it's uncertain where exactly the tank will spawn. That gives the SI a big advantage in terms of how they want to coordinate their hit. I think we're going to see Team Navi play it slow on the survivor side right now. The SI hit is going to be a jockey, smoker, boomer, and another charger, so this is pretty good for them, pretty much mirroring the hit that the infected got last time. I don't know if they're going to do the same where they have most of the survivors go forward, or they might bait maybe one person to try to spawn that.
We do have a boomer going for the arc boom. It gets a single onto Rochelle. The jockey and charger going in. Jockey gets M2, but it's not dead yet. It's still jumping around. The tank is also up in the hands of Pose, and the survivors team are moving all the way back, looks like, to the burger restaurants. Tank is still working his way in. He's got one car in. He's trying to get the other one up and over this barrier.
And that was kind of what we were mentioning a little bit. That's a good car hit going in right there. You know, Pose wasn't able to hit that intercept because the survivors were able to get back and clear Disco before any catastrophe really happened to them. And at this stage now, they're probably going to start off playing Rock on the SI side of things and then committing with hittables, because it's obviously not time to panic quite yet, but the larger lead you can get on map 1, obviously, traditional wisdom says the better it can be. Smoker does die. Rock is going to go, and managing to land onto 2-bar actually up top after he got cleared from a 100 pin. We're going to keep it here for a little bit through these Rock tanks. And now this charge is going to go and managing to land below as well. Tank is going to try to keep sight by, I think actually he's going to try to take the roof from them right now. Launching a car in, but he's going to get out before he decides to keep pushing that. Takes about 400-ish chip before backing away to probably play it long for a little while longer.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very different tank. Unfortunately, Royal Flush wasn't able to get, the great kind of separation that Navi was able to. And, I think we saw a little bit of impatience there. The tank thinking he could go in or maybe land on the roof. We do have a double boom going out onto Rochelle and Coach, but we have a smoker. Hibbs looking for a pull from the right of the survivors. This tank is repositioning now. Looks like he's going to try and work another car in, or maybe he's just going to... Yeah, he's pushing into the restaurant. I think he may be committing on this.
Indeed he is. We're going to keep it right here, actually, as we see Pose jump up and take the roof from the survivors. Actually, he hasn't taken the roof yet. Now he's going to. That double boom has been cleared, and he's now running around in the back on second pass in a bit better position, obviously, because he can't get chipped a whole lot on his way in, but it's going to really depend on what the SI gets. It's going to be a boomer charger and a jockey for the commit. Pose looking to go to the roof if he can, I think. Boomer trying to set up, and he's going to start committing in on this right-hand side. The survivors getting shot by a couple Uzis. Boomer's going to spawn up and not get anything. It's popped by Nevermore, but Pose has almost found a corner right there onto 2-bar and gets it from 2 nice ladder punches. SI are up top as well. Charger's going to whiff. Pose is about 4k HP. Is probably going to guard the in-cap that he's gotten now on this ladder. Throwing a rock around, not managing to hit Disco, who's getting very, very aggressive onto him. He's backing out, trying to jump punch him. Working his way back inside. Gonna get another corner onto Ellis right here. One more punch is going to in-cap that survivor, but instead he switches targets onto Disco, who melees him to death as that hunter lands. Hollywood, that seems like a chaotic tank there from the SI side of things.
Yeah, that was looking really rough for both teams. For a second there, it looked like that tank had committed a little bit too early, but he did get a great corner onto this ladder. That was a really precarious position, and I think the survivor side, they got a little bit panicked there. Disco going too aggro on that tank. They did get another in-cap as well, which means that we have only, I think, 2 survivors with firm health. Regardless, they have not had a death where the other team did. We do have a Hunter, Jockey, Charger, and Spitter going in. Rochelle gets caught in some spit, but that's pretty minimal damage so far.
And this is kind of the ideal situation right here. Looking in chat, indeed, Hollow is Pose. We'll be referring to him as Hollow and or Pose the entire time. If you were curious as to who that was. This Charger is still trying to work something in here. Hib keeping it alive, jumping in, going for a charge, managing to win a tri-charge on his own, which was a little bit of finesse right there, but obviously no other SI were up to really capitalize on that. They're probably going to wait for Hib spawn now for this 2-2, but this is looking solid now for Team Navi, especially since the SI seem to be like wandering their way around. A little bit of single spawning going out, but they're probably going to try to get back together for a couple more coordinated hits before this day for him.
Absolutely. I think Hib is maybe just a little bit angry at that early death, trying to get some revenge, but looks like the SI are going to look for some kind of spawn in between, this area with the houses and the weapons. We do have a smoker pulling from the alarm car. It gets cleared before, but the alarm car does go out. Jockey gets shut down. Spitter is down. Only the boomer is left alive, but they are going to have to deal with this alarm car horde regardless of what happens with this boomer. I think he might save this. Never mind. He goes in, lands a nice double onto Nick and to Ellis.
Yeah, and they're shooting for a last-second quad or maybe like a tri-cap to spit, but most of this horde is actually behind them right now, so they are able to push their way through. The SI will have spawns for that. It's going to be a Smoker Charger and a Hunter, and looks as though Disco's looking for this Witch Crown, going to get it very, very nicely without even slowing down. And at this rate, they should be able to just chill here, kill some horde, but this Charger's going to spawn up actually and get shot down to 74 HP. Rest of the team trying to go in now. Hunter manages to land, but the Charger simply doesn't have enough health to make it in. Smoker's going to get cleared, and that's going to be a nice chapter from Team Navi to kick this off.
Yeah, Navi, they kept their cool during that tank fight. It was getting messy towards the end there, but they still managed to make this safe room with a lot of bonus. This is a great start for them, and I think Royal Flush, we're seeing a bit of a disorganization. They were spawning, you know, a bit separated. Obviously, that charge from Hib was very nice, but it also wasted a lot of opportunities for his team to, you know, have some coordinated hits in. They're getting, you know, a little bit impatient, I think.
Yeah, not only that, but, you know, okay, it's map 1 hard rain. Map 1 is map 1 is map 1, you know? I mean, it's good to get that kind of momentum on your side early, but since there are 4 more maps to play in this campaign, there's a lot of room to make things happen. And in UMod especially, I think we mentioned it in a couple of the other hard rain casts, but map 4 is still now a serious threat because there is no map distance nerf that you'd see in either Ace mod or Zone mod. You can score an obscene amount of points on that map if you shut down a tank and take, like, what, 2 other hits or something. So at this stage in the game, obviously Team Royal Flush are going to have a little bit more time to get themselves together and respond in the way that they need to in order to keep this not only close, but also to make that kind of come from behind victory after those events in map 1. This tank at 33% is going to be interesting as well.
Yep, Navi will be starting on the Survivor side, which means that they need to keep their momentum going, and Royal Flush has another opportunity to sort of get their bearings, get a little more organized, get their hits, you know, start hitting a little bit tighter. Regardless, we are going live, or no, we're not.
I think we're seeing a little bit of team chat come out there, because I think Pose wants to hit inside with this since they have the Shard Spit and the Jockey Smoke, and it looks as though they're going right now. Disco gonna get Jockey right there, and the charge is going to land in the corner with the Spit actually not going in, instead going to just spread in front of the survivors. That would have been an okay amount of damage right there had that Spit been able to land. But the SI trying to show some aggression right there, getting the jump on that Jockey early to lead to that charge, but again, nicely cleared by the survivors, and now they're going to be able to push their way forward, probably take 1 more hit before time.
We're in for a nasty damn storm.
Yeah, Royal Flush definitely trying to make something happen there, even if it's just 1 survivor in the Spit. That would have been a good amount of damage. Unfortunately, looked like it bounced right off the window where the Spitter was peeking in through. Regardless, the tank is up now, and they do have a hit. Looks like they're going to send the Spitter in immediately. The tank is now up in the hands of Kodiak, and these survivors looks like they're going to back off and take it back in this truck area.
Indeed they are. That Charger's not going to land. Jockey's going to get cleared, and there is still just a Spitter in the hands of Hib that has not killed itself yet, running around a little bit as Kodiak gets into position. How about we take it over and see how Team Royal Flush is doing for our first warm of the game?
Absolutely, let's do it.
For some reason, I do believe Discord is having a little bit of an issue at this point. Now the Spitter does indeed go in and stack itself on top of those barrels, and that does actually lead to a rock landing. We'll address the worm thing in a moment when we have a second, but right now we are going to be keeping it here for this tank. There's a Jockey, a Smoker, and another spawn coming into queue after that Spit rock hit going in. Tank curving rocks down onto Disco right there after laying the first one, and this Jockey and Smoker are already bouncing their way around. It's going to be a charger for the third support, as a matter of fact, as we see this hit go in. Smoker spawning from the left, making a good amount of noise, getting a pull into Disco. That rock got skied, but the charge is going to land, and the Jockey's going to land an intercept onto Rochelle as well. Lots of damage going out. Rock not going to do damage, but that's 2 pounds going out onto Disco, and so far, Navi having a couple issues with this spot, and I do believe they're going to try to run forward, but Kodiak is going to drop in from the back right here, moving his way in. He could have maybe intercepted them if he had stayed up top, but instead, he's going to try to have to run up top now and push in when he has more spawn.
Navi, I think, are playing this really smart. They're forcing this tank out of its position. Once, you know, Royal Flush was starting to get some damage and starting to make something happen, they immediately rotate now to this generator area. I think this is a bit more of a favorable position for them. There are less spots for the specialists to spawn, but regardless, Kodiak is still going to play this rock tank. We do have a Hunter going in, Jockey going in. Both of them get shut down, and we now have pose holding a boomer. It looks like he's going to try and get some kind of spawn behind this fence area.
Indeed, they are, and this tank is going to have to probably commit this with that boom down to 40% on second pass, throwing another rock in, and that boomer's going to be coming from the back right there. Kodiak jumping in, looking to push his way towards survivors on the right-hand side, getting a punch onto Ellis right there, trying to punch Rochelle again, not going to land, actually getting juked out a little bit right here by Nevermore in the corner, missing another punch onto him, giving up, missing a punch on Disco, finally landing a punch onto Ellis, but those are some great jukes by Nevermore right there to keep that tank from getting that original down. It started off really well from that rock tank perspective, but Kodiak not able to get that lock.
Yeah, Navi, I think once again, you know, there were several moments with that great charger jockey intercept, and then later on from the, you know, he almost getting those punches onto Ellis, but Navi is doing a great job of keeping their cool right now. They're holding on to this lead.
Reload.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they have a lot of momentum. They've only taken 2 kills so far. They've got 2 survivors with large amounts of green health. There is a witch up, however, and a charger, hunter, smoker, and a spitter for the hit. The witch is going to get pulled, and the SI are a little bit behind because they're trying to work their way out from inside. And at this stage now, this witch is going to get herself completely stuck. I love Left 4 Dead 2. She's inside, at a pole right there, not doing much of anything. The call for being stuck has gone out, and now the SI team are spawned up here. They're going to get a pull onto Coach. The Hunter is going to be waiting a little bit as well. And I got to say, now that she's unstuck herself, she's running around up here, and she's actually going to go and almost land onto Disco for a second there at the end of that ramp. But it looked as though 2Bar also interfered with that witch for a moment, and I thought she was going to re-aggro and scratch. Which is our skill? Yes.
My goodness, it seems like I am just forever destined to have some crazy witch shenanigans every single game I cast. This happened yesterday while I was casting with Rails, and it's happened in every game I've seen since. The witch always gets stuck on something, it seems.
Yeah, this Charger's going to spawn up right now, going for a survivor in the room. Interesting call right there, because right now they're going to get a jockey and a couple of punches. Smoker going to go for an insta-pull as well. Double boom lands, but I might have liked to see that on the staircase instead, because even if that charger landed, they didn't have a spit to maximize that damage.
Yet, I definitely would have saved this charge for the staircase as well. That Boom Horde did hold them up a bit, but it's not going to prevent Navi from getting up these stairs. They are probably going to be able to start that elevator before they have the spawns up. Regardless, Royal Flush does have a smoker and a charger to work with here. They do have an opportunity for, you know, a massive charge if they get lucky and play this way.
Indeed, Smoker trying to find a land right there, not going to work. Jockey does go out. Charger is going to whiff, though, onto the survivor who was trying to intercept right there, getting a couple of punches onto Disco. And these hits have done an okay amount of damage, but we've yet to see a full end cap go out onto Team Navi so far. In this second map, if they can make it with that amount of bonus, they're going to put themselves in great position to play some relaxed special infected, you know, and just try to get some kind of other wipe and damage that way, because they'll have a sizable lead prior to Team Royal Flush's second survivor half of the match.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and we need to remember that, you know, when Navi gets to play Infected, they're going to have a lot of opportunities that Royal Flush missed. We do have a Hunter going out onto Rochelle, lands for a second to pull onto Nick, also gets cleared to double boom onto Coach and Ellis, but they are going to make this elevator, they make it down.
Indeed, they are. So at this stage, Team Navi, again, going to work their way to the bottom here. They do have 2 pills in their possession and might be able to find another one in that shack downstairs, but they need a really good field hit on the side of Royal Flush for this. If they can get a couple in caps or maybe even some kind of like strange separation, but however, they actually are going to get a 2-2 for this. If they would have been able to get that kind of step, it would have been really, really good with maybe like a smoker, but now they might try to hit early and see if this boomer can drop in. Getting a nice quad boom. Disco's going to get himself back into the elevator right there as the Horde is going to funnel in, and now they're going to spit in the front, and they're going to try to charge stumble from the back, and it is going to work! That's going to be a pretty good amount of damage, actually, on... Wait a minute. Did that work?
No, I don't think any of the survivors took any damage from the spit there.
Oh, man, I thought that was going to be a tri-stumble from that charger into spit, but instead I think all the survivors just either got stuck on the side or just pressed themselves up against the wall. Jockey does land on a 2-bar in the back, is going to get cleared. Man, I got excited to see that kind of thing happen, even though I absolutely hate that strat. But This charger is going to go in from the back right here, looking to land it onto Coach, and is going to get a punch, another punch, and an in-cap onto him before dying, with the spit going down on top of that. Right now, if they can get this pick up and get out of that field while they're clearing that double boon front, that would be ideal, but Disco's not able to get it quite yet.
Yeah, that spit spread was really unfortunate for Disco. Royal Flush was showing some really nice teamwork with that stumble spit, but I mean, unfortunately, they do get the in-cap that they were kind of looking for, but I think too little too late. Navi is probably going to make the safe room. They do have one more hit to deal with, I think. We've got a Hunter, Smoker, Boomer, Hunter. The Smoker gets a pull, gets cleared. Both Hunters going out. One lands on the Coach, the other lands on the Nick. That's a nice amount of damage on the Nick.
Indeed it is. I mean, right now, if they can get this down, it'll be a good amount of damage onto the bonus potentially, but Disco not going down, and when I last checked right before, I think they still have around, like, between high 300s and low 400s bonus getting into the safe room, and indeed, we're going to be seeing Team Navi making the map once again with a total of 324 bonus, plus those witch points for that round, and this is the kind of situation that you want if you're playing ahead on Hard Rain, where it's already close to a 1,500 point score delta, you know, going into, as I said before, Royal Flush's second Survivor half. And now if Royal Flush somehow misplays somewhere and isn't able to, like, you know, kill a tank the way they're supposed to or something like that happens, just the percentage chances are definitely in Team Navi's favor right now.
Absolutely. You know, as you pointed out earlier, Map 1, you know, Map 1 is Map 1. It's not actually, you know, worth that much from a points perspective, but from a momentum perspective, I think Navi have come out solidly ahead, and they show no signs of stopping. And as you mentioned as well, Navi has a few opportunities that I think that Royal Flush missed. You know, they can make a bit more happen with this tank. They do have that opportunity for a great charge in the staircase to the elevator, and hopefully if their witch doesn't do any like crazy pole dancing lessons in the middle of the game, they might be able to make something happen with her as well.
Exactly, and we're going to be going live with the second half of the second map here on Hard Rain. Game 7, MavWar Hype Unity Tournament 2018. Royal Flush on the Survivor, Team Navi on the Special Infected. It's a Jockey, Spitter, Charger, and Smoker for this first hit coming out. It's going to be a Disco tank as well. We're going to see a pull going out, missing onto Hib. Jockey spawning in the room to the right. Charger and Spitter still waiting. We'll see exactly what they decide to do now in terms of pushing these SI out, but it looks as though Hib is actually going to take the forward spot right there, blocking the spawn on the side, going to M2 that Jockey as well, but in the Charger spawn, missing Hib as well. Hib doing a great job shooting out those SI, taking a Charger punch for it, but the rest of the hit being shut down. Great movement there by him.
Absolutely. I mean, Hib, I think, has taken the initiative several times this game already. He's very anxious to not make any more mistakes. He did a great job baiting out those hits, and I think Navi, you know, slight misplay there with their spawns and being a little too greedy with the inside hit. It is, of course, the smart play when you've got a charged spit like that, but I mean, Royal Flush definitely saw it coming. After all, they did try the exact same thing when they were infected.
Exactly, and the tank is going to be up right now into the hands of Disco for Team Navi. There's a Boomer Charger and a Jockey, though, for this show on the run back, so we're going to keep it here just for a second in case we see some kind of disaster strike. We don't, so how about we take it over now to our first actual worm of the game for Team Navi.
Absolutely. Hopefully Discord will cooperate now.
I'm reloading.
You guys set up, yeah?
Yes, sir. I'm definitely set up, dude. What the run for, dude?
Yeah, head. Like, you're
Oh,
supposed to
sorry.
hit. Hello?
Alright, coach.
Sorry, I wasn't even looking at the wall.
Oh boy. I have to go right in. This is bad.
Yeah.
You're supposed
Oh,
to
if
hit
they try
him
to
when
go forward, if they go forward, you cut them off. Ah, that's scary.
Yeah, I was just going.
Don't go AI.
I need that broom now. Ready to support me?
Alright, let's get in. Let's get in. I got a smoke
Oh
forward.
my god, I dropped.
Go in.
This is it.
Dude,
works.
this is the wipe. This is
I
the
did
one.
this.
This is the one, dude.
How much HP do I have?
1,000.
1,000. Yeah, you can get out, honestly. Yeah.
I'm coming with the jock. Don't worry about it. You ready, Hunter?
Let's get this boy.
I'm gonna rock him. Let me rock him. Let me rock him. Get him now.
You thought.
You're pretty low, no more.
Hello. What the?
Bro,
Ow!
you're trolling me, dude.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the tank in the hands of Disco, securing the wipe on a Team Royal Flush right there. A lot of things again happened in a very, very short amount of time. We saw the survivors run far because the tank tried to get the car. And if they had actually, like, wrapped back around when that tank was committing, it would have been hard AI at that point. But instead, when the tank committed, they were kiting him around and nobody blocked that boom spawn on the wall. Tri-boom landed, tank got his corner, support landed, and that is exactly the wipe that Royal Flush, I think, was worried about going into that second half of that second chapter, as I mentioned, because now the score delta is real. It's an over 1,200 point game going into map 3.
Yeah, Royal Flush, I think they made the right call, you know, just hauling ass right after that tank. You know, he got a really unfortunate punch with that car. It wound up behind, like, a semi-truck and other stuff. I mean, a classic mistake that I always see in many games, you know, tanks trying too hard to work their hittables in. But unfortunately, they weren't able to force that tank to go AI, and Discord, you know, he was like on 5% when he went in, but fortunately for him, all the SI landed, that tri-boom ruined their day, and I mean, Navi has such a massive lead right now. Royal Flush, like, they've got to make some magic happen now.
Indeed they do, and we have a pounce pick going out right away onto Coach in the corner right there, but that means they're going to be saving this Hunter and Jockey for the field. And if you're Team Royal Flush at this point, you know, I've seen it happen on Hard Rain, but they have to just completely ignore the score and try to play just one half map, you know, one tank at a time in this regard, because like I said, it's not gone their way so far. They've seemed a little discombobulated, but now this hit's going in. Jockey getting M2, it's going to be another 200s and a charger for this hit. I'd be surprised to see them go in at this point, but it looks as though they are. Hunter going in, going to get skied, other Hunter ends up top for a split second, and a death charge would really change the course of things.
Absolutely. Like you said, the score difference is huge, but when you're playing from behind, you just need to focus up and focus on those hits. After all, you know, in Left 4 Dead, things can change in a second, and Navi, I mean, they're not invincible. It's not like they're playing perfectly. They've made plenty of mistakes, and a death charge here could turn things around tremendously.
Indeed, it's going to be a smoker, jockey, and a spitter. Spitter's going to go out and get the delay right there. Two position things. Charger actually spawned at a position where I believe it can be shot. Jockey's going to go, managing to land. Charger's going to go, and there is the death charge going out onto Disco at the start of map 3 right here. That might be the turnaround that Royal Flush was looking for. Simple play. Disco went out, immediately gets jockeyed, and the Charger just intercept, and now we see Nevermore said in Survivor Chat, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm sure there are a couple questions that they have at that stage. If they get a wipe here and then they can make this third map, they could turn this game around on the side of Royal Flush.
Things are looking up. Disco, oh my goodness. We can talk about that later, but just like you and I were saying, Boomer goes out, does land onto Ellis, Jockey going, oh my goodness, was that a melee ski? Yep. Hunter was melee skied, everything shut down. That's not the hit they were looking for, but just like you and I were saying, things can always turn around, and I mean, now they've got to fight a tank, one survivor down, and Rochelle is really separated. What is she doing?
They're going to probably push this for distance at this stage. It's Hib's tank, so we're going to keep it right here. Hib's going to get back in position and kind of cut them off. Boomer's going to spawn up, managing to get a single arc boom as Hib is going to commit this right here. Jockey going in, but the support's about to be cleared. He needs to be a little careful. Going to throw an E-Rock, throwing it in, managing to land it onto 2bar right there, who was also hoarded. Smoker pull goes out as well. Another punch out onto Nevermore right there. Going to take Putty, I think. Actually, cleared the Smoker. And now I think they're going to try to work their way to a little bit of a better position as this tank is still in. Still has 3.9k HP versus 2 survivors. This is going to be the wipe from Hib's tank going out as that rock lands onto 2bar. Charge goes in, managing to land a nice double charge onto the survivors right there. And this is the momentum swing, as we mentioned, that Team Royal Flush needed to stay in this game. That death charge plus the resulting tank wipe by Hib. Nicely done. Now let's see if they can capitalize on survivors.
Yep, this is exactly the kind of thing I was hoping to see. Royal Flush keeping their cool, playing really smart. Navi definitely not playing smart. They made so many mistakes in this round, and this is exactly the kind of momentum shift that Royal Flush needed, as you mentioned. We're going to see now if they can avoid any death charge in this elevator area and take that, you know, and kill that tank and make up some of this point difference here.
Exactly, and now, I mean, that tank, if they can take it back to the open field, doesn't typically do a massive amount of damage. So, at this stage in the game, we have to see a little bit, I'd probably say, have things be a little bit less hectic on the Survivor side, because it's been, you know, the map 1 wipe, the map 2 transition that almost worked, but then I think they were running forward and got a little bit too excited on that last map and didn't block the crucial spawn. Hib's gonna go in there trying to land. One hunter does land the corner. Both hunters actually landing onto Hib. Getting cleared right though by Tamales. Nicely done. And now they should be able to push this field without a whole lot of interference until they get about halfway through.
Yep, we're gonna see if Navi can still keep their cool like they have done on the past 2 maps. They do have an opportunity if they have the right spawn. They do have a charger now. We're gonna see if they save that to get a death charge in this elevator area.
Indeed, Survivor's playing it pretty fast right here. Smoker's gonna swap, Charger going in, managing to get instantly cleared. Nice shutdown from Team Royal Flush, and you can see the momentum has shifted back into their favor so far. The odds of the SI team getting another Charger there to capitalize on that are not that high, and again, you know, this is a situation where even if Team, here we go. Tactical pause going out right now by Team Royal Flush, I believe. And this is indeed going to go live. And at this stage, like we said, the SI might be trying to go for some kind of elevator hit or on those stairs. They have a jockey in the spawn queue with 3 other spawns. It's going to be a hunter, charger, and another hunter. And now they're asking if Nib can sub on the Survivor side. And then Kodiak saying, tell them you're in a tournament. Okay, someone will ask. And Hib saying, I can't. So at this stage, Hib's going to run forward out of the elevator. They do get another charger. They actually have a quad cap on the Survivor side of things right here. So the Survivors should be careful when they're dropping floors.
Back down the stairs.
Absolutely. Navi's got a great opportunity right now to, you know, keep this game in their hands, stop the momentum shift. The charger does go in. Oh my goodness, instantly cleared off of Nick. The hunter does land onto Ellis, momentarily gets cleared. Another jockey and hunter landing onto Coach. Both get cleared. I mean, that's a ton of damage potential averted by Royal Flush, and now they are going to arm up in this room, and we're going to get another pause from Hib. Interesting.
This is a tournament where, in a usual match... Oh, wait, Hib's back. What? Okay, Hib has returned. I do believe Hib is back. Comments are being cleared, and apparently Hib was able to resolve whatever was going on in real life and has taken control of his computer, or at least someone in Hib's house is now at his computer. So we're going to see this next hit coming out. It's a Smoker, Jockey, Spitter, and a Charger. There's going to be a Smoker pull going out. Charger going in, going to almost land onto Hib. Hib does get jockeyed forward now, taking a good amount of damage. Tank is up in the hands of Chubar. And how about we send it over to a Survivor side Royal Flush War Room to hear how they play this tank.
Absolutely, and we can let them talk through if we get another pause out.
You. Okay.
Admin change slot to 13.
Yeah,
Join.
I can join.
Smokers up. Hunter.
I'm just going for DP.
Reload.
He's losing rage, so it's okay. Gonna have to committing.
Fuck my life, man. Okay, I'm stuck.
Push forward. Let's go.
Yeah, he's in.
All right, we're faking hit and we're going back. We're going back to finish him now. Go. All right, take a hit. Rock. Rock down. Get me, and then let's go forward now. Hits are down. Let's go. I'm gonna give Tamale kills.
I'm a reload.
Grab ammo really fast if you need, then let's go. Alright.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen Hib officially sub directly in the middle of a match during a tank fight, but his team are going to be able to move forward like this with only an in-cap taken. Nib has now replaced Hib in the game as Boop. So at this stage, this tank is going to die. 218 health left on AI tank, able to do an okay amount of damage after cornering a survivor who got separated a little bit, but there's still a lot of health bonus left. And that was one of the more unique things I've seen in about 250 games of casting that I've done, Hollywood.
Absolutely. I've never seen anything like that before, but I've only cast a handful of games. Very ballsy move to just sub in the middle of the game. Loves, we do have double hunters going out, one landing onto Nick, another gets skeeted right off of Rochelle. Jockey gets M2'd and shut down. You know, pretty minimal damage. Royal Flush, despite subbing a player in the middle of a tank fight, they're doing pretty well for themselves, really lessening this lead, and Navi is, I mean, things are starting to slip. You know, not obviously turn around completely, but Navi is sort of losing a hold of this game in a matter of sweeping.
Indeed, but now the survivors are going to be able to push their way forward. Charger, Spitter, Smoker, and a Boomer, so there's one hit left. Bile Bomb has been deployed by the survivors right now, and a lot of the spawns are getting blocked in front. Boomer getting M2'd and shut down. Smoker pull missing. Charger's not going to land. Smoker trying to get a repull right there. Spit is in front, and this is going to be Team Royal Flush making an outstanding comeback, despite all the memory that we just saw, to bring this game back into conversation. 2039 to 1766 going into map 4. They make up almost 1,000 points in one map.
Absolutely. It's a really interesting strat that Royal Flush has tried, you know, tactical pauses, switch in the middle of a tank fight, but, you know, it worked out for them. It was a dangerous gamble, but it worked out for them.
Indeed it did, and we have a game going into map 4 now. Very, very strange road to get here. We have been, we've seen mostly everything so far, but at this stage, in I don't know as Team Royal Flush here. Like, you've had everything happen where who knows how much that lineup scrimmed with each other beforehand, or we've had a couple moving parts going around, but no matter what, having just done what they did in terms of having the white map 1, the white tank map 2, and then, you know, map 3 being that not too common turnaround map, the fact they were able to make that happen now puts them in an excellent position for this 4th map. And we are going live with it. Team Navi, however, have to try to respond on the survivor side of things, still defending the lead that they built over the first couple of maps. The tank will be up in the hands of Nib for Team Royal Flush with the Charger, Jockey, Smoker, and a Spitter for this first hit.
Yeah, I mean, technically, Navi is still in the lead with about 300 points or so, but I think they're definitely on the back foot right now. It's their turn to try and keep their head cool and get this lead back. Smoker goes out, Charger fails to land. Jockey lands momentarily onto Rochelle and a little bit of spit. Pretty minimal damage.
We do indeed have a tank task going here, which I think is the right thing, as a matter of fact, because Nib was supposed to be that tank. Tamales did not get a tank yet, so that's the reason for that spectate right there. Tank is at 80%, pretty far into the map, and it looks as though Chubar is going to be pushing forward right here a little bit before this next hit is up. And Navi, you know, they lost some momentum they built early on. They've had a couple pauses going, and that Boomer is going to get popped in the corner. But like I said, they got to try to play the same way they did in map 1 and map 2. So, and I think they have a chance to do it, especially with that tank spawning in a pretty precarious spot for the SI. Smoker not going to be able to get that pull. Now able to get it with the charge going out. Nice double charge landing. The spit, however, is not going to carry that far. That was a really long charge, actually.
Yeah, very long distance, unfortunately, outside of the spit, which means that overall, I mean, Royal Flush has taken so little damage. And as you said before, this late tank, as opposed to the early tank on map 4 of Hard Rain, is a lot more dangerous, I would say. Regardless, it is up now in the hands of Tamales. Are we going to take this out to a war room?
Indeed we are. We're going to toss it over once again to a Team Royal Flush Special Infected War Room and see what Tamales can make happen with this tank.
All right.
So fucking loud. God, my sound is so loud. Let me get my car in. I don't know, I hate... I just want to go in. I'm gonna start going in. I trust you, bro.
We're just making noise.
Oh no, my phone. Fuck my car, man.
Try 3.
Dude, I whiffed like 3 times.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Team Navi rebounding on that tank right there. We saw the tank push a hittable underneath for leverage, I believe, and then a double boom landing on the right-hand side, but the tank only able to get a couple of punches on the survivors. Hollywood, what did you see there?
I mean, that was a really interesting tank. He had that car in a really great position right under that house, and of course there are lots of poles under there that were prevented, but I think he somewhat neglected to use it. Navi definitely turned things around somewhat. They are going to aggro the switch, however. We're going to see if they get the crown. They just barely do. It looked like that was about to be a scratch. Another hit taken fairly well. Royal Flush only has a single smoker here hanging out by the alarm car. Gets cleared. Well, the alarm car does get triggered.
Yeah, but they're going to make that a non-issue because Team Navi are going to push into the safe room right now to bring their total score to 3,348 points through these first 4 maps of Hard Rain. And that's kind of what I mentioned earlier when we were talking about the ability to swing the game around. Because if you notice, okay, they took a hit outside a safe room, a hit at the second house, killed the tank, took essentially one more hit, and then made the safe room. That's how fast this map can be, and that's why tank wipes are so devastating, especially at this early area. That second area where they're fighting the tank really, again, it doesn't usually call for wipes on map 1 when teams fight it there, or obviously on map 4 when teams fight it there. So, as long as Royal Flush doesn't wipe at that tank and finds a way to make safe room, then finale will still be really important, but that's why in a couple other configs I think you see this map nerfed as much as it is.
Yeah, obviously the ins and outs of configs do have a big effect on games, how they turn out. Navi was looking at such a great lead, and unfortunately for them, Royal Flush was able to turn it around, and this map is not going to provide a ton of opportunity for them to try and get that lead back. This is going to be, a much more dangerous game than I think they were hoping for based on those first 2 or 3 maps they had.
Indeed, and Team Royal Flush are making their way out of safe room into the arms of this first hit. We have a pull going out, charge going out, does get cleared. Jockey also gets shut down. Kodiak taking a little bit of damage from that smoker pull, but nice shutdowns going out by Team Royal Flush. So now, okay, you're going to have this tank in the hands of Nevermore. You have the ability for the survivors to fight it in an area that's pretty beneficial to them. I think what we might see Nevermore do differently is not focus on the hittable as much, even if he does push it underneath, but then also try to find a way to at least zone one survivor out, maybe get it down, and then turn his attention to spreading damage. Because like I said, they can try to play for the wipe, but if it doesn't happen, then they will... Oh, God.
Looks like we are going to get back into it. As Nevermore says, the show must go on. That boom did land onto Nick. Single boom for that. Double boom. Boxing onto Ellis. Jockey landing onto Ellis. A bit of damage, a few charger punches. The smoker gets the repull onto Nick, and there's no one there to clear him. He's going to get a bit of damage for that.
And indeed he is. That's an okay amount of damage from that hit. We are indeed moving once again here, but Kodiak, however, was in the back, way in the back actually. That might give the SI another hit. In fact, calling that out in their team chat as well, since you can see that on the server with this CFG. So, okay, now that we've had another pause and another reset in the actual motion of the game, the Spitter is going to go in trying to land, not going to get much of anything, however. The survivors have Suzied up for this tank fight that they're about to encounter. And actually, I didn't realize the tank spawned quite there. The tank is in the hands of Nevermore, and the survivors are going to be running back. Let's take it over to a Team Navi special infected worm for this tank and Nevermore.
Absolutely, let's do it.
So just...
Yo, you want to hit right now? We should hit right now.
Let's go, let's go.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck, whatever. Oh, well, you're not landing that charge, boy. Oh.
I landed.
I'm gonna put this boom on the car.
Fuck me. Are they about to get aggressive on me? Nah, just kidding.
They're just playing,
That'd be
bro.
scary, though.
It's just a prank. I got
Oh,
one.
hell yeah.
Nice boom.
Kill me. You got a hunter and a jockey, bro.
I'm going in now.
Alright. Just be ready to go when he calls for you.
I got you.
No.
We should help him.
I just punched him away from the car.
I got you.
Fuck. I walked on top of it, but I punched it.
Oh, you're still first pass. Wait.
Aw, heck.
Oh, you dead now, boy.
Dead as hell.
Yikes.
I fucked myself over so many times.
They got our bonus.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That is a one-hitter tank going out from Team Navi right there. That was huge. Those cars were flying around. They got boomed on the run back, but they have a chance to move this into position on Finale to even almost take the lead if they don't take any more damage from these last couple of hits. Without Hib right now, this Boomer's not going to land either. This has been a complete reversal in momentum despite everything, and Royal Flush look amazing right now.
Absolutely. Royal Flush, they had like just about some of the worst starts you can imagine. I mean, wipe on the first map, wipe on the second map. They were playing pretty badly. Things were looking so disorganized for them, and they have completely turned this around. They just bullied the hell out of that tank. Nevermore was not able to make anything happen. He had some really unfortunate cars where they were just bouncing around, not doing anything that he wanted. And right now, Royal Flush is going to move in.
Oh my god! Because two of them have a punching charger, or three of them have a punching charger coming right at their face. Let's see. Bowling pins are set up, and he gets two. Then gets cleared. Spit goes down. Jockey does land. Hunter looking for a pin in the back as well. That's a good amount of damage, and Tamale's actually slow clear coming out from Pose right there. That might have actually saved the lead for Team Navi. There is the Witch Crown going out as well. Nevermore hitting almost a triple charge right there instead of double with a good amount of damage. Kodiak going to actually wait to pop its pills. There's going to be one more hit, I think, before the save room. It's going to be a Smoker, a Charger, and a Hunter trying to find their way in. Smoker's going to spawn, getting a pull onto Rochelle. Charger going in for the intercept, not going to land. Hunter does land onto Ellis for a split second. Boomer goes out, and this is going to be close. The quad boom, unfortunately for the SI, is going to be pretty inconsequential. Royal Flush going to the safe room, and we have a 300 point, actually just about a 405 point differential between these two teams going into the finale. This is as close as we could have hoped for at this point.
Absolutely. This is almost, in a way, a repeat of the last match that you and I cast rails just last night. This game is down to the wire once again.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really contingent, because if you make this finale, you can still score a lot of points. But I would say if you get a wipe at that first tank now, it depends on who's going to get it for Royal Flush. It might actually be Nib instead of Hib, but I would want to see Hib load back into the server right now. It's not going to happen, because I'd be like, yo, I want my finale tank, and be like, okay, Hib. But instead, you know, if they can get that wipe, then that would put them in perfect position to steal this game back from Team Navi. Navi's been ahead the entire time, but really, you know, that map 3 has still proven to be the pivotal shift in momentum. They have one more chance to do it for Team Royal Flush to take that lead, so it really, really comes down to that tank.
Absolutely. I mean, this, it's all, like we said, it's all going to come down to the tank. It's going to come down to really good support, because this area is not a great place for the tank to make much of anything happen. Regardless, on map 1, we did see, I think, Royal Flush. Was that Royal Flush? I'm trying to remember. Get that corner right in the ladder area. I mean, they do have the potential. Both of these teams have shown, good teamwork when it comes to tank fights. Their supports, typically land more often than not, and we have seen both of these teams fail to, cover boomer spawns and the like. So, I mean, this is, of course, anyone's game right now.
Yes, and indeed, as Sir has said in Twitch chat, you can't spell tournament without torment. That is very, very true. So we have a Charger, Jockey, Smoker, and a Spitter right here for this first hit for Team Royal Flush, trying to make something happen on the special infected side of things to take this game back. Again, round number 1, game number 7, MavWar Unity Hype Tournament 2018. And we have the Smoker pre-spawn by the tree. Charger looking for some kind of intercept over here as well. Jockey and Spitter on the roof of that far house. Smoker's going to go, imagine you get a pull. Jockey getting M2'd. Charger fast climbing the ladder, going in, trying to land on Coach, but does get melted. And the tank is going to be up in the hands of Nib, as we speculated beforehand, so it's going to be on his shoulders to do this kind of damage.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to this sub, official or not. Navi is going to get onto that. They're going to make it to the burger tanks. They're going to turn on that sign, and now they're going to take up their positions. This is all about, this is like a team play game now. I mean, unless the special infected can get some really good, synchronized hits, get those separations, I mean, these survivors should have a pretty easy time of defending this position.
Indeed, they should. Any kind of damage the SI team can get beforehand is obviously going to help their chances on that tank. But they have a Jockey, Smoker, Boomer, and a Charger. Smoker's going to get a pull onto Nick right there. Charger is going to miss on that. Boom does land a single boom in the Jockey. That'll get much of anything. Charger does get a pound onto Rochelle right there for 8 damage. And that's the only damage, actually, aside from a couple common hits that the SI have gotten so far. But again, I mean, like you mentioned, this is a really survivor-sided position. They don't really have the chance of having a whole lot happen to them unless they get somehow miraculously, death charge. But I don't foresee that happening unless like a 3-cap lands or something, and the tank actually should be up in another couple seconds.
Yep, Navi so far has a good opportunity to get their bearings again. Like you said, this is a survivor-sided map. We do have a Smoker going out onto Coach, gets cleared of Hunter momentarily, landing onto Nick. Jockey gets M2'd and shut down. The tank is up in the hands of Nib. He's going to get in position on top of a roof, probably looking to maybe throw some rocks or get a car in. Are we going to take this to a war room?
Indeed we are. Nib has to do work on this, and he's going to channel the fact that his name is one letter off from Hib, take that spirit in his hands, and try to wipe the survivors with it. We're going to send it right over to a Royal Flush war.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's get an attack.
You guys... Oh, they're gonna lose.
They're below, so...
Alright, just save it for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
are you gonna commit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I was... Yes. It's okay, I'll try.
I'm gonna make noise, try to distract for you a little.
I'm done.
Let's see if my cards are being bugged.
Oh no, clean. Yeah, the car went
Help
Leo.
as best as we can.
That's shitty.
Alright. Oh, you won't punch.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and that is an extremely unfortunate sequence for Team Royal Flush. That tank in the hands of Nib, not able to get anything close to the wipe there. Only one rock going out from that exchange on that tank. Single boom does go out, but Hollywood, he could get nothing on that.
Absolutely. Only a single rock to speak of, and Navi played that tank fight beautifully. They chipped that tank down. They played really aggressively, and unfortunately for Nib, I mean, the support just wasn't there, and his hittables were not cooperating with him at all.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, like, they've got a shitload of bonus on the Survivor side right now. I think there's terms for a lot or like a good amount, but this is the level where it turns into being a shitload, where it's like completely like insane to see a team have that much, unless the tank, again, you know, he wasn't able to get his hittables up onto the roof. He wasn't really able to hit those cars any way he wanted. There was no boomer to land. Support tried to go in on the commit and wasn't able to get much of anything to set him up, and now Team Navi have one more hit before I think they're about to win this game, I think, just mathematically speaking, with the amount of health that they've got.
Yeah, you know, when games are this close in a tournament match, I mean, regardless of whether it's, you know, the first match in a group stage or not, I mean, the nerves are probably real right now, and Navi are definitely keeping their cool. Royal Flush showing a little bit of weakness at a time when they really cannot afford to.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they weren't able to just, like, stick that turnaround. The Survivor from Team Navi, aside from the depth charge on map 3, has been spectacular, and sometimes we see this on Hard Rain. We do have a charge going in right now, not going to land though, going up against the boat. Last ditch effort to kill Nevermore, not going to work, and that's going to be Team Navi making the boat, and they're going to put themselves over 5,000 points for this match on Hard Rain. I do believe with the health bonus we are about to see, that's a grand total of 4,976. It was almost the 5K. Almost the 5K, but that puts them over 2,000 points ahead of Team Royal Flush. That is almost the mathematical impossibility at this point. So hats off to Team Navi for not getting discouraged with all the bullshit that happened in this game, along with them getting Death Charge map 3. You know, aside from that now, they have put themselves at a 2K point advantage going into finale, the second half of it, and they should be able to go to 1-0 in their group.
Yeah, Navi... Oh, sorry.
We were just in the Royal Flush War. Okay. Alright, so we'll be seeing a Team Navi Worm, as it was, I think, originally scheduled programming for this second half here. And yeah, that's gonna be almost their victory lap Worm right here, because obviously, I think, let me actually check.
Let's do some math.
Yeah, no, the difference in bonus if Team Royal Flush were to make it with just, what, 100, yeah, it would be like 172 points they'd get back if they took absolutely no damage. So, congrats to Team Navi on taking this first match that they're going to play. Game 7 of this MavWar Hype Tournament 2018. Nice charge going out, taking a Survivor into the semi-truck over there. Getting a couple pounds with a stick going down on top of that as well. Disco landing the charge, and Kodiak taking a good amount of damage. 70 points of damage off that first hit. But they're calling GG right now. So I think we're actually going to let it go. Final score is going to be 4,976 to 3,009. Team Royal Flush foregoing the score differential thing, so they're going to have about 2K differential at the end of this. That is indeed their choice. We don't see a redemption tank coming out, and this match has come now to a blessed end after an hour and 40 minutes when past when it was originally supposed to start, because hashtag competitive Left 4 Dead 2 and hashtag him. Hollywood, I would like to thank you for being my co-caster, xBye for streaming, and a big shout out to Downtime, eFreak, and of course the Maverick Warriors for being these tournament hosts and sponsors. Do you have any last words before we send this off into the night?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure casting with you, Rails, and a big thanks to xBye for streaming this match. We didn't know if it was going to happen. Fortunately, it did, although it was a struggle for, I think, everyone involved. Voting for MVP, as you noted, is open. MavWar.com/vote-MVP. So you can go on there and, you know, give your blessed thanks to Hib or someone else, please, someone else. And you know, I've had a lot of fun watching this game and casting this game.
All right, and with that, we are going to bid you guys good night. We do have a match tomorrow. I would like to say, I believe it's at 7 p.m. Eastern, and that'll be the last match of the first round of matches for the MavWar Hype Tournament. So we hope to see you then. Have a great rest of your evening.